just had a very productive transition meeting with the governor. I'm extraordinarily grateful to the governor for his service to Vermont and for the way that this administration has set the stage for a smooth transition to the next administration. So let me first say how extraordinarily grateful we are to the governor and to his team for allowing us to get to work to make this transition a smooth one. Our transition team, it will consist of chairs Elizabeth Bankowski and former Governor Howard Dean. They'll be joined by Alex McLean, who some of you have gotten to know over the last few months, along with Bill Lofi. So that'll be the team. Our plan is to get to work in the transition offices right away. We have a lot of work to do assembling a cabinet that will reflect the values and priorities of the campaign that came to a close just a few days ago. So we're delighted to be here. Extraordinarily grateful to Governor Douglas for all that he's done for this great state and for making this transition so smooth. And we go to work 7 days a week now to put it together so that we can hit the ground running in early January. Be happy. Oh, I should also mention, thank you, Alex, that in addition to the four that we just mentioned, we've asked Senator Susan Bartlett, who some of you have met, to work together with the administration on getting the budget ready and looking at some of the spending issues that we're facing. As you know, we have a big challenge there. So Susan will be working closely with Neil Underbill and others putting that together. The administration has kindly offered an office for her right here on the 5th floor to get that work done. And I've asked Susan to engage any other advisors, helpers that might be useful as we prepare the budget that we all know is going to be a challenge for the next government. Happy to answer any questions.
Have you made a decision about Secretary of Administration?
We haven't made any decisions except that we made the decision to get some rest last night, which was one of the smarter moves we've made so far. But no, we haven't made any decisions about any positions. And I should mention, don't read too much into the transition team in that regard either. Everyone has agreed to come and work to get this job done, and we'll make the decisions and let you know as we're making them how we're coming.
What's the budget for the transition?
The budget is $75,000. Governor Douglas just reminded us that his budget transition was $30,000, so that's higher than a rate of inflation, and we know we can make it work.
When you said your cabinet will reflect the values of the campaign, is that what you said? Could you explain what you mean by that?
Sure. You know, we have two challenges here, and I think I mentioned yesterday that whoever won this governor's race has a mandate, and it might not be an electoral mandate. We know it's a close race, but the mandate is, and I don't know if it's ever been clearer, Vermonters want this next governor to do everything in their power to lift the economic boat for Vermonters, to help the middle class who's been kicked in the teeth, and to help all of the Vermonters who have lost their jobs, lost their hope, and lost their economic security. And, you know, I don't know if there's ever been a campaign for governor where the issue is more clear. And we understand that we have a dual task. The first is to put the state on a responsible spending path, fiscally responsible budget, so that we're not continually having this challenge of missing projections and having to cut budgets. We've got to live within our means. The second part of the challenge is to make the infrastructure changes that I've outlined over the last few months, a affordable healthcare system, so that we're not spending $1 million more tomorrow than we spent today on healthcare. That's just not sustainable. Broadband and self-service to every last mile. By 2013, we cannot compete for jobs unless we get that done. Obviously, an education system is preparing Vermonters, a workforce for the 21st century jobs that I feel so hopeful about for Vermont. And finally, as we mentioned, a tax structure that grows wealth and grows jobs and helps us to beat the other 49 states to the economic opportunities that I think Vermont has.